Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Modern Commerce with Casey and John. John, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Doing pretty great, man. So today we're going to do some ad teardowns from some Facebook ads that we've either put up ourselves or just seen kind of in the ethos of Facebook and stumbled across. We're going to look at the ad and the landing page, kind of talk about the combination of both of those two factors. We're going to discuss a little bit about what we like and what we not necessarily don't like, but what we think they could do better.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah. So some of them we have insight into, right? Like we have, we're running them, or we're a partner with this company, or you know what I mean, and we have that account. So on those ones, it's all ones that we know are performing relatively well. And then on some of them where they're just ones we've seen, we're just going to infer that you're going to get there's some ways that we can sort of tell that they're performing well. But yeah, I think that what you said a second ago is really maybe good to hit on is we're going to look at ad and lander. So I think and as you look at these, a lot of these ads are really strong. They're like really good ads. But I think what a lot of people don't think about is that it's like that experience of like first introducing yourself to someone, having them see you for the first time, and then moving them all the way to a purchase. There's lots of steps. So we're doing all e-commerce stuff, all physical products. Well, there's one app, but it's still kind of in that vein. There's a lot of steps there, but like that like ad step and then like where they land, right? Like those are they're hand in hand, right? And so I think a lot of times we focus on the ads, the creatives, and we just kind of drive it to whatever, our homepage or our product page or whatever land. We don't think as much about the landing page. So we're going to look at both.
Sure. Yeah. I think, good points there. So why don't you go ahead and get us kicked up? I know we got a tight schedule today, so we'll try to mash these out real quick.
So yeah, this will be a quick one. I'm going to share my screen. So first up is an ad from a brand called Reg Fit. So they're a home workout product. This is one of the ads that we do have insight into. This is performing relatively well. I'll just play the video and then I'll show the lander and then we'll talk about it. Let me throw sound on.
180 pounds, big strength training. Right, I'm a huge fan of Reg Fit. This stuff works. The resistance is great. It even goes up to 180 pounds, big strength training. So much better. It's light, it's compactable. You can take it with you anywhere that you want to go. I'm telling you, if you get a Reg Fit, there'll be no more excuse. And I know for most people, putting together a gym can be very, very pricey in your house. Now it's completely affordable. Use this thing consistently, you will get the results. All right, I'm a huge fan of Reg Fit. This stuff.
Okay, so there's the ad, and then that drops onto this landing page.
The resistance is great. It even goes up to 180 pounds, big strength training, so much better. It's light, it's compactable.
Facebook, cool with that autoplay stuff, right?
Yeah, love it. All right, so we'll pause that. Okay, so that drops onto this landing page. It's a product page. Okay, so first up, I'll just hit on some things that I think this does really well. It does a lot, right? So a customer testimonial or people saying things about you, like that's probably one of the best things you can do in the world of Facebook advertising when you're going to cold audiences, people who don't know you. Because the customers will hit on the pain points and hit on the desires of your market, and they'll say it in the words they say it in, and it is like instantly more reliable than you saying it, right? So if you've got user generated content at all or customer testimonials, use them in your videos, right? So this one isn't even user generated. It kind of has that feel, but you can tell he's talking to someone here. And then the other thing it does is this is the main thing we got going on here is that this is like a really cool, unique product that you can use at home and you can do a lot of different lifts with at home. And so it's like, you don't have to be fancy here, just put that front and center. So lots of shots of him using it. And last but not least is just like an aspirational identity here. Like this guy looks like a regular dude. He doesn't have, and they do have some ads of like jacked dudes, right? And those perform well. And they have some ads of really fit girls. But this guy, I think maybe the reason this outperforms them is this guy's like, that he has a very attainable look. He looks just like a dude that you would know. But he also has a look when he's working out, you look at it and you're like, yeah, I mean, if I woke up tomorrow and I look like him, I'd be okay with it,
Sure.
So yeah, I think that's what the ad does well. Casey, thoughts here?
Yeah, so I should mention we didn't go over these ahead of time, so I didn't know what you had prepared. You didn't necessarily know what I had prepared. And a couple of these, I'll probably have a few constants that I bring up on multiple ads. But right away, the first few things that jumped out at me, as far as the copy that's laid out at the top there goes, I mean, it's a little small. I hope everybody can read it on the screen share. But even before I read what the copy is, I like the formatting of it. I like that it's not just a big text wall. It's, there's 3 clear lines of copy separated with line breaks. And it's got that link in the ad copy itself, which I'm a big fan of. I'm not necessarily a Facebook user, like organically myself, even though we run ads on Facebook all the time. But so I think I have a little bit less of a, this is what I like to see when I'm on Facebook, kind of, I'm not tainted by that. I go just by numbers. And I find that when I drop links in the copy, it tends to give me a little lift in performance rather than just relying on people to scroll down and click on the button below. So I like that it does that. And another big thing is the captions on the video itself, because not everybody has the sound on. Love that it's showing, what they're saying, basically, just with words, in case you have that sound off, like we did right at the beginning of the video.
Most people are sound off, and here's the, so a couple things that you just hit on that I think are good here is like, as the text goes, yeah, link and copy is solid, especially for a video ad. I'm not saying do it one way or the other. Like we have winning ads that don't have link and copy. And sometimes it does drive your CPMs up a lot, just depending on the ad account, so that you just don't do it. But especially for video ads, on image ads, if they click on the image, that's a click through. They're going to click through your landing page. But on a video, if they click on the video, they're just going to make the video bigger. So they have to click down here on the call to action button in order to go through your landing page if you don't have that link and copy on a video. So definitely consider it on videos. Also, we technically should be looking at most of these ads on a mobile device. We're screen sharing, so that's not what we're doing. But on a mobile device, we're going to cut off copy right about here, right? And so like that's another thing that Casey's saying here is that it's like there's a clear boom, we've got that line and then we've got this dot where it's like you can feel like you can read more without it being like, oh, I'm already reading this text wall, right?
Right. And it might be oversimplifying, but if I'm adding a 4th little note on it, I'm a fan of short copy. I think a lot of times people make the mistake of trying to do too much in one little spot. And I think they do a good job here of not doing that. So. Yep.
So some stuff I don't think it does well. I'm actually going to focus in on the lander here. I think the ad does well. And I don't think the landing page is bad. It's the good thing, the thing this landing page has going for it is it's a standard product page. People land on something like this and they're relatively used to it, people who buy things online. So again, we should be looking at this on mobile. But the thing I will say is like, if I'm these guys, if I'm RegFit, I'm going to be looking to test maybe a little bit less noisy, a little bit more simple lander. For example, and I'm going to look at it on mobile as well. I'm not going to do that right now. But for example, we have this scarcity countdown. But like with all of the other elements of this page, order today, free shipping, like we got the double header going on, all of the different things we have going on here, like it's just, we could lose that. Like that's like a big thing that should be featured is that urgency, but it just, it might not be. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like, it starts to lay out pretty well below the fold. It's just, I might try and busy it up a little bit less above the fold. And then I'll always look at like testing this on, on a standard product page, you're going to have the name of the product. I like to test that, right? Like I like to kind of like use a headline there, so that's what I'd focus in on like how they can maybe improve on this ad experience. Do you have anything on that, Casey? Or?
Yeah, I'll just kind of follow you here and say on the landing page, that's where I'll toss up a -2, or at least a perceived negative. Like I said, I didn't know it was coming ahead of time. I'll just say this for a product that at least that particular ad made it look like they were marketing towards men. Personally, there's a whole lot of shaved dude body on a click through that it got me by surprise a little bit there. I have to imagine they had a whole photo shoot to choose from, and that one, it's there's a lot going on there. So
right. It may be worth it for them to consider their product page photos, like look at their best performing ads and use the product page photos from those models. They do have both men and women in the ads.
Right. And I don't have the data on this, but generally speaking, I think this product, even if you are targeting men, it might convert just as good having a female model there. you know, even though that's not, you're not envisioning yourself using it. I mean, it's
right. Yeah. Or maybe even like leading with that double, you know, and then maybe not on like a white background, like leading with I like the lifestyle thing here where we're in an actual room, but maybe we have both, you know.
sure. Or even just to the point you said, it's like an attainable body and stuff. I mean, this guy is not quite that same guy. This guy's clearly more like a model type. He's a little bit more manicured than most guys who probably are clicking through that link. It's just a little bit disruptive.
Things that I would test, right? Like, you know, we might be wrong, but we might be right.
Absolutely.
Okay, moving on. So Casey, you want to hit on this one. So we'll go here. So here's ad. It's an image ad. We don't have to watch a video here. So we'll just give a second to read the copy there. And then here's the landing page. Do you want me to go first here, or do you want to go first?
Whatever feels right to you, man. Go ahead. Why don't you go ahead?
Well, let's stay in order here. So I'll say what I like about this one. And I mean, spoiler alert, you guys can see from the screen share here, Casey made this ad. But what we're doing here is we're going to a landing page that's content, right? So we're going to an advertorial. So quick tip, kind of like, you know, hot tip here. Video creative, everyone's like video is king on Facebook. Yeah, you know, video creative is really good to have on Facebook. It's a channel where you can do a whole lot with it's kind of like I said a second ago, like if your ad doesn't do a ton, your lander has to do more. So with Facebook, you can have your ad do a lot if you've got a good video ad. Like that RegFit ad, you know, it did a lot to sell me on it. So it doesn't matter that maybe there are some shortcomings on the lander, maybe there aren't. But, you know, in this case, maybe this brand doesn't have a lot of video. So we go to a lander that is more content driven, like more copy, and the call to action's all the way down here. So this is like quick tip for anyone who doesn't have video creatives. Like this is a really good way to be able to run ads and to be able to take people through the process of like that they need to go through to be sold with just image ads, right? To build a lander for them, build a content lander for them, especially if you have a higher ticket product like this one. So the other thing I like about this ad is it's a very good like signal giving ad, right? So a lot of times when people do ads to content, they go with something a little bit more clickbaity, a little bit more like, you know, they're going to get a lot of clicks through that ad. You know, this looks like an ad that could go straight to the site. You know what I mean? It's just kind of a product feature. You know, it's seat covers, so we're just showing the seat covers. You know, we say really everything we need to say here, and we don't say, you know, it's not like we're putting a clickbaity headline here. Like it's just, you know, that could go straight to a product page, straight to a collection page. So first and foremost, the ad is a good signal sender. Like we can look at the click-through rate of that ad, and we can know, hey, like how strong is just like the desire or the demand for this product from a pure product perspective. And then the lander is also a really strong signal sender because you cannot click through this lander. And again, remember most of the traffic is mobile. You cannot click through this lander until you've scrolled all the way to the bottom and seen the pricing that we start at, right? So, you know, in the lander, it's not like using some really clickbaity angle. It's really just talking about product, talking about why, you know, why you need seat covers and why these ones are better than other seat covers, you know, in your truck or in your car. So it's a really good signal sender because we can look at the click-through rate of this lander and we can say, hey, again, with this angle of just like focusing in on product quality, this product quality angle, you know, how well is this building desire enough for people to scroll through this whole thing, see the price, click through this lander. So with a high ticket product, a lot of times it takes a lot of dollars to get conversions and get that data back. But here we can get some really early signals with just the click-through rate of this ad and just the click-through rate of this landing page. So that's kind of what I like about it. Casey?
Yeah, no, I think you hit a lot of important points right on the head there. I'll point out another thing here. Again, shorter copy. There's no like read more button. Kind of short, concise, trying to get the job done, trying to earn the click with the ad here, click to the landing page, that is. But also not being clickbaity, like you said, because here, that would really detract from the results we're trying to get, right? This is a higher ticket product that needs a lot of priming or a good amount of priming before somebody's ever going to pull the trigger on buying it. So we want those softer touch things like the click-through rate on the ad, the click-through rate on the lander. We want those things to signal to us what's working and what's not working when we're testing different variations. So it would do the opposite if we were to mix in too much clickbaitiness to it. I hope that makes sense.
We can use this as a control now because it's not clickbaity. Like we can go more clickbaity and see what does that do to the click-through rate on Lander, what does that do to the click-through rate on ad, and find the right combination of like the right angle to approach this from, right? Because you've established this really solid, straightforward product quality angle.
Right, right. Another constant kind of here, like I like a nice like first line, like an attention, not clickbaity again, but like an attention grabbing first line. I know you're not the biggest fan of wordplay, but I couldn't help myself with the like not cutting it with the scissors. Like a short copy, got that link in the copy. I tend to do that a lot. Yeah, image ad. I think video, honestly, it's not inherently better or worse. I think video ads can kind of like raise the stakes a little bit. So if you have a great video, sure, it can outperform maybe some image ads. But if you have kind of a lesser than video, that's only going to hurt you more, I feel like. You know, you're not going to earn that click as much if they see something they don't like in the video. So this is a little bit more like, not necessarily curiosity play, but it gives them just enough to want to learn more. And then on the Lander, we could click over to that real quick. Don't have too much on this, but again, yeah, it's a little bit longer form, but not, I mean, it's not a novel, right? And I always tend to a little bit shorter copy. And as far as like, you know, kind of like an advertorial type of angle can go, this is, you know, it's like medium length, maybe you'd say.
Yeah, it's a relatively short in terms of an advertorial, but it's pretty, like it's plenty of scrolls down the screen on a mobile device, right? Like you got to scroll a ways.
Right, right. And another thing I'll point out, I don't know if people would notice this just from the screen share here, but I'm not afraid to recycle some of the same assets, you know. Some of the copy in the ad is on this landing page. The image itself is pulled straight from the top of the landing page. Some people might say like, yeah, but you're wasting opportunity to show them more. And that's an argument, I suppose. But honestly, I kind of like the continuity. I kind of like that it's a great example is that last ad. I felt like it had a stark kind of, oh, we see this very attainable body dude, and then all of a sudden there's this clean shaven model wearing no clothing. Like, okay, that's, whoa, big leap there. And it caught me. This one, there's almost no leap. It's picking up right where it left off. And you're already kind of, like I said, it's just, my attempt here is to prime you a little bit more with every scroll until you go.
Click from the ad to the, when you land on this page from that ad, you know you're in the right place.
Right.
So yeah, if I were to just say negatives, and really on this, negatives are things that either might already be in testing or are testable. Lander optimizations here, and given like, you know, the whole point here is just to test angles. It's not to have a super optimized Lander, but more testimonials, more maybe even like user pictures. I think, you know, there's a product that needs a lot of convincing for someone to sell. So yeah, I mean, testimonials and risk reversals on this Lander, you know, saying, hey, yeah, if it doesn't fit in your truck, send it back. We'll send you the right ones. You know, here's what other happy people have said, right? Like that's, you almost could have like the whole thing of that even, right? But so that's like one thing on the Lander. And then the other thing, both on ad, in the headline on the ad and in the headline on the Lander, we could probably with the headline make it a little more clear that this is content, right? Like make it feel more like they're clicking to a blog post as opposed to like, this feels like they could click through this and go to a collection page. Not bad, like I said, it gives us a signal for sure. But that's, you know, maybe a next testing point is to make those headlines feel a little more like content.
Definitely, all good points there.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. So this is an ad, again, have insight into this, know it's performing well.
Oh, I should mention, just since Kat was out of the bag on that one that I created, I could say that was almost a 50 ROAS on that ad.
Early days, but yeah, when you have that high ticket product, you get one conversion, and it looks good.
That's exactly. I know we brought that up in I think our last video that, you know, ROAS screenshots can be deceiving, so I just had to throw that.
For sure. Okay, so this is a quick ad. Got to pay attention.
Bro, next time you leave your wallet behind, I'm keeping it.
Well, it's got a GPS tracker. I'll find you.
So, yeah, I mean.
Bro, next time you leave your wallet behind, I'm keeping it.
So there's the ad. Here's the Lander. Another custom Lander here. So this is an interesting landing page format, you know, so we got something, it feels a little like content, and then it turns more into a homepage style feel. So I'll hit on what I think this ad does well. I think it gets attention well. You know, right away we see like what the heck
Next
is
time
that?
you leave your wallet behind.
You know what I mean? Like you got this close up of this guy just like dropping those cards into the wallet. It has that switchblade feature. So then if you click through that ad, then you learn on the lander that it does have like a switchblade feature if you watch the video or anything like that. And that just means like it has like a button you hit and your cards are fanned out, which is cool. And we featured that in another video kind of like this. So I think it does that well. It's quick. So it's like if it hooks someone in and they watch the whole thing and they learn, oh, it's got a tracker. And it like feels, so I'm going to show another ad like this later that I don't know what to call it, first person point of view ad, something like that. It's just different. It's like kind of a outlier on the platform. So I think it does those things well. Landing page does, you know, this is a test against their homepage, and it actually looks a lot like their homepage, except for this section right here. You know, so we have in this section right here a headline and copy that feels a little like content again. And then we go into basically the layout of their homepage, and this outperformed their homepage. So yeah, I mean, I think the play here is like just, you know, once you've got that click, you can take a little time to like sell people on the product a little bit more, right? And hit on the pain point, right? So this is just a simple pain, agitate, solution, copy formula. It's short, you know, so I don't have them reading a long advertorial, but then we just go into the homepage format that we know converts.
Yeah.
So I think it, you know, it does a couple things, but it seeds everything well, right? Like the ad's short, attention grabbing, it does some things, but not a ton. And then the landing page picks up and does the rest enough to like convince people to buy efficiently.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. And I know we're time crunch here, so I'll try to go quick. On the ad, I mean, I feel like as millennial men, that's who this is targeting mostly. You know, we're groomed to respond to bro. So like attention grabbing audio, the video is short. My next example is also a short video. I think that's something else is when people do video, again, they try to do too much. Again, it only raises the stakes. Too long of a video can also be a detriment. Don't be afraid to test. I mean, ultimately you want to test all different video lengths, but I mean, how long is this video? What, 9 seconds?
11 seconds.
11 seconds. I mean, some people that might sound crazy, like that's too short. You know, what can I even get done in that? But it gets a lot done. They kind of plug in a feature right into that, like, oh, it's got a GPS tracker in it right from the get-go. The kind of style of that I kind of like. It's almost like reality TV, where it's kind of like mimicking like user generated content, but it's clearly like scripted. But it kind of hacks your brain a little bit and thinking like, oh, these are just two guys. So it's well done in that way. The short copy on the ad I like too. Again, that's not always the best. You want to test it, but don't be afraid to test the short stuff. And then on this, yeah, I love the format of the on the lander. I love the format of the lander. Again, no huge text wall, clear, concise statements. Things, you know, everything's there for a reason. You kind of, you know, there's a kind of content feel in this top half. Nice, more explanatory video. I assume here on this a little bit longer than 11 seconds probably. So if you want to see more, well, not that much longer, but still, like it's got features, I'm sure. And then I do love
it's all the features. You know what I mean? Like, hey, here's the switchblade feature. Here's the tracker. Boom. You know?
Right. No reason at this point to kind of hit them with that same kind of like, hey, bro, like, you know, this is a little bit more like to the point, more like a product video. And then, yeah, I actually do love the kind of hybrid layout where it kind of goes into a proven like selling format for them. And it kind of, at least the idea, and it sounds like it's played out in the results, is you get a little bit of the best of both worlds here without having to earn an extra click. So, yeah.
Right. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so moving on from this one.
We can skip over what we think could do better on that ad. That's cool. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't have that. I didn't really have that.
I mean, look, that thing's crushing it. I think it's just a matter of testing iterations on that, testing landing pages. You could throw like more video on the back of that video. So like longer videos aren't bad, right? Like as long as the first part of them is enough to get people who only want to watch a little bit of it.
And that's all I was gonna be able to say on it too. What as big of a fan I am of short copy and testing, you know, short videos and stuff. again, it's just testing factors. Test some longer. Don't live and die by the short copy sword. Don't live and die by the short video duration sword. Test all those factors. And when you do, I do tend to think that the short stuff a lot of time wins out, but sometimes it doesn't. And that's why you need it. So.
Yeah.
All right, so another video ad here. Sorry, I'm just jumping right in. Another video ad, short copy, short video duration. We're kind of seeing a theme here that I didn't anticipate, that since we didn't really know which ads we were picking here. Oh, we got a little error loading the video, but it's just a short little
bit of error, but that was it. That was it. We just saw it. That was the ad.
Very clear, concise, not a whole lot to that. No audio really. Just a picture of a sweet looking car. I think that one was the Corvette. With some American flags hanging off the back. This product, they're selling American flags. Pretty clear here. The copy on the ad itself, very clear, concise. I like everything to have a point. I hate it when either an ad or a landing page, I start to get the feel like it's just kind of droning on and getting kind of redundant. And stuff. That happens a lot of times. This isn't doing that. It's very clear. It's explaining an offer. Which whenever you have a good offer, why not lead with that, or at least test leading with that? And this is one where the results have kind of come in and proven to be good. Another link in the copy, just pointing at some of these like really common things that we see. And this one actually goes to, I believe this one is a product page. Yep. So this is that offer is
very unique product page layout. We'd have to look at this on mobile to get a better idea of what the traffic is seeing. But they've got a unique product page layout here. Oh no, this is a home page.
Right. Oh, so yeah, this one is a home page. It looks like, but it is a it is a clear like offer, and you can see that flag pull and the hardware there. That's exactly what you need to trigger the offer, and you get a free American flag with it. You know, it's gonna work on if you're targeting the right people. That's what they want to see, and it is a good deal. So why not?
Yeah. No, I think what it does well, a lot of the things you said, like it just puts products front and center. So a thing I'm saying all the time now is the creative creates the audience. So all we're doing here is like, we know who the audience for this is. It's more like kind of, patriotic, people would consider themselves patriotic type of thing, right? So we just put the product in front of them. When we do that, they like it. And then it's product and offer, right? Like it's simple, right? And that's also knowing your market a little bit. We've played enough in that market that we know that it's just like, put the product in front of them. If they like it, then tell them the offer. And if it's a good offer, they'll be like, yeah, of course, right? Like I'll buy it, fine. And then the other thing that it has going for it is actually a really good product. So then they like it when they get it, and they're more likely to buy things from them in the future. If I were to say, just nitpicking it, and I'm not going to refresh here, formatting, I would maybe recrop it, into like a square or a 4x5 format for the feed. And so it's not in that stories format. And then here, I think the landing page could be played with a little bit more, right? So instead of going that, and I'd have to look at it on mobile, but maybe, again, throw that offer top, front, and center, and then just throw this product that they have to add to cart right below it type of thing, and kind of keep it simple.
Absolutely. Totally agree with those points.
Cool. All right, here's a couple. So I've got 2 more, you've got 1 more. So yeah, we can go pretty quick.
Do we have time for all of them, or might we have to make a cut? Won't hurt my feelings.
I've got one I can cut. So yeah, so here, I'll just show you this video ad. So the last 2 I have are ones that I don't have insight into. I just, these have been running for a long time. I know they're relatively probably good.
Yo, it's madness out there. What's going on out there? Man, I can't leave the house without women swarming me. It's getting really annoying. Oh my God, that's horrible. How can I also have that problem? Okay, it all began when I started ordering from Scentbird. Scentbird? What's that? Scentbird is a monthly fragrance subscription company. They carry over 500 authentic scents like Tommy Bahama, Gucci Guilty, and Dolce & Gabbana. Nope, that sounds expensive. Not really, man. It only costs like $14.95 per month. Okay, so you mean to tell me for $14.95 per month, I can make it so women can't resist me? And they come in these 8 milliliter tubes that last for about a month. Okay, so exactly what scents did you get? Okay, so I ordered the 5 scents that every man should have. So first, we got Dolce.
So yeah, this is a little bit longer video, so we don't have to go through it. And then we land here is the lander. So I'll go first on this. This ad does a lot of things well. It catches attention well with that more like TikTok Reels style. Like it feels organic to the platform. This one's obviously in a stories format. They also have this one in a feeds format and stuff like that. You've got a good, you know, they're using an influencer here. Like you've got a good talent. Like this is hard to pull off humor without good talent. So they have good talent. But what I want to like maybe hit on really well is that like what they do here is like very well, they hit on like a very direct Life Force 8 desire for men. And really in the scent game, in the cologne game or perfume, however you say it, you're selling sex. Like, let's just be real about it. Like that is what you're selling, right? And so they do that. Like we're used to seeing, you know, big ads from like big cologne companies that are just like, here's a hot girl and cologne, right? Like, and a lot of times there's not even a dude in it. These guys did it in a lot better, more subtle way to just call it out. Like he said something there that he's like, you mean for $14.95 a month, I could have women swarming me, right? So they went directly at the LF8 desire, the Life Force 8 desire of sexual companionship, which is hard to do in like a tasteful way, especially on a social platform. And then the other thing they did here, it's funny, it kind of gets your attention. And then if you actually stick with it through that first part, you're probably likely to stick with it through more of it. And then he knocks down objections, like every objection. A lot of times I think that we're afraid in our ads and landing pages to acknowledge the objections people have. He knocks down, they go through it, he knocks down every objection. Where I don't think they hit super well is on the lander, and I'm sure this lander is well tested, but the ad set isn't strong, at least for this ad. They have a lot of other ads, so you know they can't make the lander specific to the ad. But you know, let's say I clicked on that ad early and I didn't really fully know what Scentbird was yet. I might be a little bit lost when I get here. Like, what? Sure. Okay, what is this? What am I supposed to do? I mean, get started with the quiz. I guess that's good, but yeah, you know, I think they probably could again just try and maybe simplify this lander, just test, right? Like, there's a lot of testing that could happen here, right? Or right. Instead of get 25 off your first month, you know, have women swarming you for only $14.95 a month or something like that, you know, like. Right.
Yeah. So does that kind of wrap up your summary there?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Sure. Yeah. Great points. I think this guy is super talented. Obviously he's funny. It's a well thought out video. That TikTok style is super like viral right now. People love it. And I think this is one of those circumstances where, yeah, a longer video, this is fun to watch. It's different. Like you aren't competing as much with attention. You grab their attention already. This guy's doing a good job of keeping it. It's got those captions on the video. I'm a fan of those. I agree with that kind of, again, it's that kind of abrupt change to the lander. You know, I mean, in a perfect world, you would have a lander built more towards this ad, but yeah, they're probably running 1,000 ads and they run most of them to this lander maybe. It would be great if, ideally, it'd be great if this guy was on the lander, in my opinion, or even just dropping to, I mean, this is a good offer. It seems like it started with the quiz, save 25% off, but he even mentions I started off with the 5 cents every man should have. Ideally, then, at the very least, I'd love to land at that page and be like, well, that's what that guy liked. He's already done half the thinking for me. Like you said, he already set up all the pins of all the objections and knocked them all down. I don't want new pins set up. Who's this guy? What's this different offer? Like, what sense should I be picking now? It's maybe what people want to do, and some people will, but like I said, ideally, yeah, you would have the lander built a little bit more for the ad in a perfect world.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, let's move on. Let's hit yours real quick.
Okie doke.
We might have to be.
Oh yeah, so this might just speak to our prep time a little bit. I know you just asked for a few ads for a thing, and this was actually one I saw today that I sent to my girlfriend because she had just been talking about needing to get her nails done, and I saw an ad here. Go ahead and play it.
Meet Nimble, salon quality nails in the comfort of your home in a fraction of the time. Professional polish in just 10 minutes, including drying anytime. Nimble, delight at your fingertips.
All right, so with this one, I don't know if this is exact, to be honest, I don't know if this is the exact ad I actually saw it, but this is actually a Kickstarter ad. And one thing I do like about this ad is on the ad copy, it's very straightforward, straight to the point. Again, short copy. I tend to have a style that I like. Could you click over to that ad again real quick, John?
Yep.
Appreciate that. Yeah, this device perfectly paints and dries your nails in just 10 minutes. I mean, how you couldn't be more to the point, you know, and that's not always the best angle, but I tend to I tend to be a fan of it. And Annie, you know, whether you're, I'm a guy, I don't get my nails done. Some guys do maybe, but I don't. And I engaged with it. I shared it, you know, through text message, which is like kind of the hardest path to sharing really that you could have, you know, like I found it and copied it over and, you know, and that kind of just speaks to how, one, the product, I think it's an interesting product. That's why it's on Kickstarter. It's already funded, I think. It's a product that's speaking for itself in popularity. And if you have a girlfriend or you're a girl who gets her nails done, you know how big of a thing it can be. It can be expensive. It can take some time. It's something you got to set up. There's always a reason why you can't make that appointment. It's an easy appointment to cancel, but it's a 10-minute thing to do at home. It's an easy product to buy into. And I do kind of just love the virality of it and how they don't try to dress it up too much. It's even that video asset we watched, it's pretty clear, quick, explains what the product does. Didn't, you know, it trimmed a lot of fat off of it probably from different variations.
Yeah, I think, yeah, all that, like, basically, it's like if you have, and this is the case with a lot of Kickstarter things, if your product is already unique in and of itself, you don't have to be crazy unique with your marketing. Just like get it in front of people, right? And then the right people will be attracted to it. And the other thing about Kickstarter is you're testing the market. So yeah, a lot of times the best way to test the market is just be straightforward to see how much demand there is. I think, you know, if I were to give it just a few critiques, it definitely feels like an ad. It doesn't feel native to the platform. They could probably go with the same concept and something that feels more native to the platform. Yeah, if they're Kickstarter, they may actually be running on desktop and not, you know, not solely on mobile, but they could drop subtitles on this video and drop them in like a white box below the video to make this whole thing square. And then you have subtitles and you have a square video, which is a little bit better for mobile. You know, and then that's, I mean, I think the landing page, you're limited on Kickstarter and they've done a lot of testing. But I think, yeah, going really straightforward with what it is. It's salon quality nails in the comfort of your home. But I do think that, you know, perfectly paint and completely dry your nails in a fraction of the time. I do like 10 minutes, right? Like, I love putting that in there. So I think they should put that in the landing page as well. But just small things, obviously they're crushing it. We've been part of a lot of Kickstarter projects. As Kickstarter projects go, this is well funded. It's not the biggest, most viral one we've ever seen, but it is doing well. So
and on the landing side of things, the landing page side of things, sorry, I think you hit on a really important point where it's, you know, Kickstarter, they've done a lot of testing. Very similar to what you'd see if you were on eBay or, you know, Amazon or any of the big things. You know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. You know, I know we showed some other custom landers. That's kind of a different play altogether. But if you're doing like a straight up product page kind of thing, I mean, this is what you want to see. They know what works, and this is it.
Yeah, and for Kickstarter projects, because they can't set up conversions, they're targeting Kickstarter people, right? So those people know what to expect when they get to the landing page, right?
Right,
so,
right.
You know, the format is fine, I think. You know, so really the elements you're playing with on a Kickstarter lander are your headline, your video, and you know, so, and to a lesser degree, this stuff kind of below the fold.
And to that point, you know, that's why I got served this ad. I didn't get served this ad because I get my nails done. I got served this ad because we do work with Kickstarter brands, so I get Kickstarter ads all the time. And this just happened to be where the stars aligned. And I go, oh, my girlfriend would love this. Yeah. So it's in that way.
Yeah, cool. That's all the ads we'll go through today. We'll maybe, if people like this kind of episode, we maybe do another ad teardown, or maybe even an email teardown or landing page teardown or something like that. Or we could try even a different platform like Snapchat or whatever. But yeah, that's it, man. I think that's what
sounds good. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to Modern Commerce. Check out some of our other videos wherever they happen to be on the screen here. And until then, you know, have a good time. See you next week.